Welcome back to the Arkansas Football Recruiting Report. Jacob Morris and Otis Kirk with you, joined by a very special guest. Coach Metcalf joins the program, father of Tevis and TJ, two Arkansas Razorbacks. Coach, first of all, thanks so much for joining. How are you? I know you're driving back right now.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Yes, sir. We're driving back just a little bit outside of Little Rock.
How so far for both your sons? How has the off season gone this spring, and how excited are you to kind of ramp up and hit the season here as we get through spring?
So far, what I've been seeing, they've been doing well. As a coach, I kind of get film from them and I kind of critique them here and there on little things. But overall, from what I've been noticing and been told, they've been having a pretty decent spring.
I know Otis wants to talk about this, but obviously with this Arkansas coaching staff, the defensive side is so strong. What have you seen from them, and what have your two sons really liked learning from guys like that?
Well, being a former defensive coordinator at the high school ranking, defense, they're moving around. They are the biggest thing about this group. I noticed that they're communicating. I've been to both of the scrimmages, and you can hear them being very loud on the field, doing good reads, good checks, and things of that nature. So they've been doing a great job.
Otis, go ahead.
Just what people don't know. I mean, not very many. I mean, I know Luke and Dylan are on here from Oklahoma, but most people don't have two sons on the same football team. Just talk about how great that is. That for one thing, how proud were you it worked out that way? Because you and your wife no one can be two places at one time. Now you can come and watch both of them play right here. You and I talked about that before Tevis committed here. You know that he's gonna make his choice, but you were hoping that he came here. Just how excited are you, and how good is it to have two kids on the same team or two players?
Oh man, it's very good. Considering the amount, the offers in the schools that came in for both of the boys, had one chose to go in a different direction, it probably would have been real difficult for us, but we would have made it work. So I'm just glad that Tevis and TJ were able to perform well at the high school level through training and things, and just to be able to get the coaches to like them and give them an offer to come and play together. They just had, yes, sir.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. I'm sorry. Well, obviously, TJ's a year older or a year more, been here a year longer anyway. How close do you think he is to getting on the field?
Well, from what I've seen last year, TJ got some time in some games. From what I've been noticing, TJ's been doing pretty well. And I think he should be able to get on the field from what I'm hearing and seeing. He just continues to grow and do better with things. I think he should get on the field and make a contribution to help the team win some games.
Yeah, Coach Pittman has called Tevis a baller, said he's a baller, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just said, he just goes and gets the ball because maybe the first practice, if not, it was the second practice of the spring. He picked off a pass. I don't remember who threw it, but Tevis picked it off. Just I don't remember the quarterback. It doesn't matter. But anyway, just hear another coach call your son a baller. What do you think about that?
Well, it's very good and pleasing to hear. I've been hearing it a while about him. I kind of stay grounded with them because you never know how kids take things. I always just tell them just stay humble and let other people speak about how good you're doing and all of that. Never go out and be kind of bragging about things, but to hear that, I was very happy to hear, especially hearing the SEC coach speak that well about my son.
The first scrimmage, not just yesterday, the one last Saturday, unofficially, and we don't have good seats up there in the stand, but we had TJ with 10 tackles. Just talk about what a job for a safety to make 10 tackles. And it was close, whether that was exact amount. That's what we had, but regardless, that's a heck of a day for even if it was
Yeah.
8, but whatever,
Yeah.
it could have been 12, but whatever. What do you think about that? What a day he had that day.
Well, I was actually there, and the thing with TJ is I've always TJ's been a striker. He'll strike you now. It doesn't matter how big you are, and he's the kind of the old school traditional safety that if he can get you, he gonna punish you. So it was very pleasing to see that he was coming downhill, making some good tackles, stopping the runners. It was very good to see. It's a threatening position or player to have somebody that's willing to sacrifice his body and strike the other player.
I know you and your wife don't miss anything up here. How long, how far, what's the distance from where you live to Fayetteville?
Well, we drive about 9 hours to get there. So we're very supportive. So if the boys was 14, 15 hours away, we'll get to them. So we're gonna come.
They are they? I know you talk to them all the time and stuff. Are they pretty excited about the game format next Saturday instead of a scrimmage? I mean, have they said anything about that? I know I'm excited about it being a game instead of just another scrimmage. We haven't had a spring game here in a few years. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, they're very excited. They after this scrimmage, this is why we went out to eat, having a family night. They spoke on what they were going to do. You can just kind of hear them in their little side conversations, speaking about what they're going to do and what they're planning on doing during the game. It's very exciting. They're ready to just get out there and show the large group of what they're capable of doing to help this team.
What's your early projections for the football team? I know they've got a tough schedule, but they're in the SEC, so they're always going to have a tough schedule. But at least they don't have to play Alabama or Georgia this year. What kind of season do you foresee coming up? I don't know if you want to say number of wins, but you see, obviously, I think it'll be a very much improved season.
Well, as a coach, I don't want to give a number, but I can tell that the coaching staff is working real hard with the players, and they're trying to improve on the previous record. And I can just tell that all defensive side coaches are working really hard. From what I've seen in the scrimmage game, the offense is executing plays, and they're enjoying themselves and jumping around. So I think that the Hogs are going to do real good this year.
There's a lot of recruits from Alabama, not just Tevis and TJ, but there's a lot of recruits from Alabama. A lot of players own this football team. Is that something that Tevis and TJ like? Is having they probably know a lot of those kids before they even get here, don't they?
Yeah. Yes, sir. They do. They have a really good communication relationship with with the other guys from Alabama. They speak all the time. And it was before they decided on what school they were going to go to. They kind of, I could kind of, hear them speaking about, possibly going to Arkansas, and being able to contribute and get on the field early.
Just were you pretty excited when you heard that Bobby Petrino was coming back to Arkansas? I think he's the best offensive coordinator there is. I mean, the guy's an amazing play caller. Talk about Bobby at play call. Have the Sons said anything about going against his offense?
Yes. TJ said they're fast. It's faster. He said, Tevis said they throw a lot of things at you. So you have to really be on your P's and Q's. You got to be moving. It's nothing that you can sit and wait for it to happen. It's happening. So, they're really impressed with the offense. It's making them think more, and they're doing a good job. So, yeah, they're very they like the offense.
Good. I think it's going to be very much. I think that's going to help the team be improved because I think the offense is going to be light years ahead. Whereas last year, and then on defense, you got all 4 of your assistant coaches coming back
Yes.
the first time. While the defensive line position was a revolving door, Coach Deke Adams solidified that, and then of course your defensive coordinator, and then your Coach Wilson, Coach Woodson in the secondary. So I think just retaining those 4 defensive assistants. Of course, Tevis wasn't here last year, but TJ was, so that should help too, don't you think?
Yes, sir. By getting those guys back, it was that was one of the things that TJ was kind of mentioning, doing before they got hired. That he hopes they're able to come back. He's real familiar with them, what they want, what they expect from him. They're teaching them high level skills, schemes. So they're doing a great job with both of the boys. Just even get on the phone with them and they just get to rambling and talking about things that they learned from the secondary coach and the defensive coordinator. It's very exciting to hear, and it's high level. So, I'm glad to hear that.
Here, I'll hop in real quick, Otis. Coach, I was just wondering, what did you see as the biggest adjustment period for each of your sons? Obviously, taking such a large leap up to SEC football. What was the adjustment period like, and where did you see that most with them?
Well, the adjustment was the time. They being coming from high school, everything is kind of, and both of them went to really good high school, had good coaches. So, but, the most thing they would say was time having to be here, get there really quickly, and be on time for everything, So I kind of instilled that into them when they were younger. So it's mostly timing and scheduling.
I know, obviously, you have all the confidence in the world in your sons, but is it surreal when you look back? Did you think that this was going to be the case? Both of them playing SEC football, when did you realize that was a possibility and that this could actually be something that could happen?
Well, me and my wife started out young with the boys. We did a ton of research as to what is needed or what did we have to do as parents to get the boys noticed. There was a lot of sacrifices made, so we did that. And, while I'm at work, my wife is, she's researching schools and camps and visits or whatever we needed to do. So, the training, TJ and Tevis go through extensive training young. So I never trained them as if they were 5th grade. I always train them, make sure we research and train them grades above. If you're 5th grade, you can train like a 7th grade. You're 8th grade, you can train like a high school kid. High school kid, you're going through collegiate training. So we were always just giving them advanced level training and build their IQ, which is the main thing, so they can be able to withstand and move on and play some SEC ball.
Obviously, you're always going to kind of look at things through a coach's lens, right? What's the balance between, right? You always want to be that coach. You always want to be that father, but you're also, your 2 sons are in Fayetteville, Arkansas, getting coached by an SEC staff as well. What's that balance like?
Well, my balance is my wife. I'm just going to be honest with you. She has to kind of tone me down on them at times. They getting coached all the time, so, if they send me a clip and they've made a good play, I still try to find something that they could have improved on. And, she kind of nudges me at times and say, hey, just tell the boys they did a good job or something like that. So, she's the one that gives us real balance when having males in the house and we back and forth at each other about what one should have done versus that. So that's really been the balance of our family.
That makes sense. You mentioned how, both sons have really loved this coaching staff. Where have you seen them grow the most on and off the field under this staff?
Well, knowledge, IQ, Tevis, TJ, they're speaking like they're coaches. So, when you ask them certain things, it was at one time, it was open and closed. But now they're breaking down every phase of the game, or the offense is doing, what a D lineman is, offensive lineman is doing, what the cornerback is supposed to be doing. And, you know, even if they don't play that particular position, they're very observant and speak about what they're supposed to be happening, what they're expected to happen. So it's the IQ that really impresses me about what they're learning from Coach Wilson and Coach T. Will.
You mentioned, you and your wife are going to get on the road. You're going to make it to wherever the games might be. A fun little schedule coming up this year. Do you have one in specific you're looking forward to, home and away?
Nah, not really. We just go and just be praised. Well, of course, our family time. My wife, she probably would go back and look at this and say, you should have said Ole Miss. So I think Ole Miss is one that I'm looking forward to. Our family ties with that program. But now we're Arkansas, so that's one that I want to see them dominate.
Awesome. Otis, you got anything else?
I don't. Just appreciate you coming on here, Coach. And it's easy to see why TJ and Tevis
Yes,
are classy kids with two parents. I've met your wife too, and both of you guys are classy people. And sure appreciate you coming on here. And thank you so much. Safe travels, though. Please have safe travels.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everything you do for the program and the kids.
You bet, man.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yes, sir.